Alright, welcome back to Ace Attorney. In this video, we are asking Grossberg about the horrible man we just met in the last video, Wright. This guy is I don't know, he's not really incompetent. We'll learn in a bit why he didn't take the case, but he's still, he's a bad guy for not taking the case. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly obvious, I think, at this point, what's going on. It could really only be one thing. Out of all those choices, I'd say that's probably the least likely that you would choose. Like, the first time you're probably going to choose, why wouldn't you defend Maya? Although, I think that might be one of those where every single answer you choose gets you the same answer, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe you have to pick the painting one, I don't know. This definitely is one of the ones where no matter what you choose, you get the same answer, because they are most certainly not lovers. That is most certainly not the case. That was the wrong answer. I picked it because it's funny. It's funnier to say that. But he will, no matter what, tell you what the actual deal is. Phoenix is so naive sometimes. So yeah, he was being blackmailed is what you should have put there. But I always like to choose that one just because it's the most amusing of the choices. And there's no penalty for choosing it, so... So, we're gonna bring up this DL6 incident, which we've heard a little bit about before from Maya. And, as I said then, when she was telling us about it, this is going to be one of the most important cases, not only in this game, but just the series overall. So, the DL6 and the reason for blackmail are actually very closely tied together. I feel like 15 years have passed. I feel like he'd be fine if he just was like, hey, Wright blackmailed me. I was the one who talked. You know, I feel like he'd be fine. You know, most of the cops who were involved probably are not anymore, and if they are, they've probably let it go. Because again, it's been 15 years. So, we're going back to our office. We haven't been here, actually, since we talked to Gumshoe. And, yeah, Mr. Grossberg said there's clues, so we should look. We cannot, in fact, move to the right side anymore, which we could only do that once. What we need to do is just examine the bookcase. Which really doesn't look like you can, because it's just kind of stuck on the side of the screen like that. So it doesn't look like there should be clues there, but there totally are. So, we'll read that. We don't lose anything from reading that, we might as well. Maybe we'll gain something. Yes, we do in fact know that me and New Grossberg, like, pretty sure we learned that last time we talked to Grossberg. So I'm not exactly sure why Phoenix is an idiot sometimes, just because he needs to be, so that he can remind people playing the game what's going on. So if he forgets something, it's because of that. It's not because he's actually an idiot. So, now, we can take a look at this. This is, another one of those pieces of evidence that probably gonna be a little important, you know? Check them. We'll check the last one, the T through Z, which obviously is the only one we haven't looked at yet. I wonder where that could be. This is something that doesn't usually happen. Like, Phoenix now is convinced that Wright is the murderer. And this isn't something that he usually does to people. Like, he doesn't usually say that they're the killer. Like, he doesn't say that to their face outside of the court. Because essentially, exactly what's going to happen in this scene would happen every time. All those were kind of the same thing. You spied on him, bribed him, and blackmailed him. I kind of see bribing and blackmailing as essentially the same thing, or at least one probably leads to another. Like, I feel like if someone were to get bribed, they would then get blackmailed that they were bribed. So I feel like it's just like a big black hole of blackmail and deception. Yeah, this is a bad move on Phoenix's part. In fact, this is essentially the worst move. I'm not sure exactly if the fact that his name is White is also supposed to be a pun, like, Wright and White. They're kind of similar. I don't know. This guy, Red White, is certainly one of the most bold of the villains in the series. And again, that's one of the reasons why the localization decided to call Phoenix Wright, Phoenix Wright, is so that they can have stuff like that, calling him Mr. Wrong and such like that. So yeah, we essentially just got beaten up and arrested because of this guy. That's not usually true. It usually goes, the first day is investigation, the second day is a trial, and then later the same day is the investigation. And then the third day is usually the final trial. Is it different in this game? I guess it's... each day is its own thing, maybe? Who knows? See, I'm very grateful that the series does that a lot, where instead of having Phoenix sit down and talk to Maya, about stuff we already know, it just cuts ahead to when it's already happened. So, the only sensible one to do is ask her to defend you. Even though Phoenix doesn't actually mean it, he's just saying it as as a joke. But it is nice that Maya cares and that she will defend us. Probably because she's grateful that we defended her. It's kind of adorable. I'll give him the whole thing. Yeah, you get him, Maya. This is weird. I don't know why they had to explain this. Because Phoenix essentially says here that 3-day, limit is put on the trials. Which doesn't really... I don't know why they had to do this.